Hey Brick fans, it's Dave from Brick 101 here. As you may know, this past weekend I participated in Brickworld Virtual. This was a really cool online LEGO fan event where lots of people from around the world came together on Zoom to talk about LEGO and do cool LEGO stuff. So, what I did is that I let fans vote on what I should build, and so I ended up building a pretty cool model of a Lego dragon head. So if you're familiar with my series Nightly News at 9, there's a character called Zundar Silverspine. Zundar Silverspine! And so I took his head and kind of made it into a gigantic Lego model. However, I didn't use real Lego. I did this all in a digital Lego building program called Studio or stud.io, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. And what's really cool is since I made this in a digital program, you can download the file and play around with it. So as opposed to previous how to builds where the only way you could interact with it was by watching, this one you can immediately go download the file, play around with it on your computer in Studio, maybe improve upon my design. I will admit that I didn't really finish the model in a lot of ways. This is very different than how I've done how to build videos in the past, where I present you with a perfectly finished, polished model that I've, painstakingly made, and then I'm just showing you step by step how to build it. This is more of a let's try and build video. So I tried to build this dragon head in the time frame that I had during Brickworld Virtual. It was super fun. I'm going to do this again in June at the next Brickworld Virtual, so if you want to vote on what I should build then, go ahead and sign up for Brickworld Virtual, and I will see you there. And also in this video, you'll see fans who are interacting with me. There were lots of fans typing in the chat, and I'm responding to their questions throughout the video. So that's kind of who I'm talking to as the video goes on. So yeah, enjoy this new type of format for a build video from me. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull up Studio. So Studio is a digital program that allows you to build things using Lego bricks. And I have never used it before. So this is going to be a little slow going in some ways because it's similar to Digital Designer. I was going to use Digital Designer, but it no longer works on the latest version of Mac OS, which I have. I tried to get it set up today, and I was like, nope, you can't use it. I was like, all right, guess I'm using something else. But it's a similar concept. Yeah, and I agree that it can be super frustrating to figure out, right? It's not as intuitive of just like putting Lego pieces together in the real world. So we're going to figure this out a little bit together. So I'm going to, let's pick a green color, and I want just normal green. And just, so these are bricks. Let's see if I type the word plate. Does that give me what I want? Plates. Yeah, there's plates. Let's just give big 8x8 plate to start. Why is that purple? Oh, I have to change the color palette here for it to choose. I don't know how much you're able to do illegal techniques in this. I'm sure that there's different ways for you to set that. Let's see. Let me learn the tools here real fast. So this app is called Studio, SUDI.io. It's available from Bricklink, which is a great marketplace for Lego pieces, which is now owned by the Lego company. It used to be entirely fan-owned, but they bought it out recently. So it's technically, this is a official Lego product, even though it was an official fan product, but now they own it. So it'll be unclear what happens with Studio going forward. Okay, so we've got our select tool up here. place that, and then I'm going to hit the clone tool, and that gives me another copy of the same piece. And usually, so the arrow keys, I'm pressing arrow keys right now, allow you to rotate a piece while you've got it selected. So that can be helpful for certain things. Let's see, can I line this up right next to it? And a lot of times the key to getting this right is just to change your view. So usually if you zoom out, that's super helpful, and holding down the right button will let you change your view. So it's usually super helpful to have like an overhead view when you're lining things up side by side, or have a side view when you want to line things up top to bottom. Like if I wanted to put something on top here. So boom. I'm just literally playing around a little bit here to get us a base for Zundar's head. So I'm just gonna build some big green plates and see what it looks like. I know Zundar's head pretty well. Let's see, I want to, okay, so I pressed escape to clear the thing I was holding. And I'm gonna move around and zoom out again. Line that up this way. You know, theoretically, I could look for like angled pieces. Oh, you're gonna have Zundar there for me. Perfect. And I normally when I do reference, when I'm building anything, whether that's from Nightly News at 9, well, not always Nightly News at 9. Nightly News at 9, a lot of the builds came from my imagination. Like I would envision something and then I would just try to build it out of Lego. Whereas for Five Nights at Freddy's and a lot of my how to builds that were based on like things from video games or movies, I would find pictures of those on the internet and then pull those up and look at them while I'm building and try to match the shapes as closely as possible. I'll actually pull up, I've got pictures of Zundar on my computer here. So let me pull up my big picture of Zundar. So I've got him pulled up here. So you can't see that because it's on a different window on my screen, but I will be referring to that. So I'm gonna start out just by building a nice big flat base because this is gonna be a giant version of Zundar's head, because again, this theoretical episode 3 is taking place inside Zundar's brain. So, all right, I've got my Zundar there. And my computer's starting to yell at me because I'm doing so many things at once. And by yell at me, I mean the fan is getting loud. Okay, so pressing the C button activates the clone tool. Clone tool, again, which lets me make a copy of any piece. And I'm gonna look at it from below here because I wanna line it up on this side under that piece I put above. So there's definitely like a lot of moving the camera around you need to do to get pieces lined up the way you want them, which, you know, makes it very different from building in real life. Let's see, and then put a 4x8 in the middle there to fill that slot. All right, and you know, this is not necessarily the pieces I would use if I was building this in real life, because you know, a green 8x8 plate is not necessarily a piece, one, that even exists, because Studio doesn't necessarily limit you to, oh yeah, but it actually tells me the price. This is a 7-cent piece. So it's kind of interesting that when you build in Studio, it tells you kind of the price of what you're building the whole time, based on, you know, current market rate for, how do I move laterally? Okay, so if you hold down Shift and use the right mouse button, then you can move around kind of while keeping it still, as opposed to rotating around. So that's important for, you know, different things you might want to do. I'm going to scroll to zoom in again. Use this. So this is obviously very different than when I do a how to build on YouTube, where I've created the whole thing in my imagination, built it out of Lego before, and then when I record, all you're seeing is me going step by step. Here you're actually seeing my whole iterative process where I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, which is a little bit different. All right. Wants to be right. Why does it keep jumping? So this can be kind of a little futzy. So what I'm doing here now is I'm using the W, A, S, and D keys, which are similar to the arrow keys in a lot of programs that let you nudge things stop by stop. Oh, that's a great question, Daniel. So Daniel's asking, do any characters, concepts, or stories that I have in Nightly News at 9 go back to story ideas that I had as a kid? I'd have to think about that. You know, I definitely think about how all the different characters from Nightly News at 9 represent different aspects of my personality. Zundar and Malefios especially, I feel like are two different sides of me. You know, Zundar, the very gregarious, silly side, and Malefios, the kind of self-defeating, like overly analytical, gets in his own way kind of side, or at least the way I felt about myself back in 2004. But as far as like how they relate to me as a kid or stories I had, I told lots of silly stories as a kid. A lot of them were about animals and weird things. So none of them were necessarily about news, but you know, a lot of them were about dragons or you know, sharks or whatever I was building out of Lego at that time. So there's definitely some similarities there. So I'll look at Zundar. I don't think I need to go all the way closed. Let's see. Let's do maybe a 6x10 and rotate it this way for the front of Zundar's face. This is feeling pretty good here. Just gotta and nudge it with WASD into place there. So this is kind of a very rough bottom for Zundar's mouth here. And we will also put one of these in place just to secure that. Cool. So, you know, Zundar's mouth is, you know, kind of this angled shape. And we could theoretically, you know, go, oh, wow, there's lots of place here, right? Do some of these wedge pieces if we really wanted to make this look, you know, like Zundar's face does, and, you know, do kind of like these angled things all the way down. Not like that. This. Right there, come on. So yeah, there's definitely a bit of fiddling you need to do with the controls to learn how they work if you haven't played with a program before. And like, I don't know that that would be the wedge piece that would actually work best, right? There's also these bigger pieces we could do, right, which might get us better slopes. And here, I'm just gonna quickly do a bunch of these over so you can see what I'm talking about. And yeah, it definitely prioritizes connecting the pieces. How do I delete a piece? Let me see. I want to, oh, press the delete key. Perfect. So luckily, a lot of the controls are relatively intuitive, so that's helpful. So this is just like a quick pass of what it would look like if we wanted to curve out or, you know, make those a little more angled rather than the way they are on the other side. You know, that would, you know, more closely match the shape of Zundar's face. me actually switch how I'm sharing my screen here. Just do, I do the full screen. Let's see, I think that should be everything. Can you see both Studio and this Zundar now? Let's see chat. Yep, okay, great. So we'll put chat over here. So yeah, so you can see Zundar's head over there. Oh, I have to do those silver bits. But I'm just trying to kind of get that shape of his head, which is angled in. This doesn't show you his head from above, where you'd be able to see that a little more clearly. And I don't know that this angle is perfect for it, but I think it's close enough for our purposes today. And we don't need to spend a million hours on this since we only have an hour and a half left. And I want to get this to at least kind of resemble Zundar a little bit. Maybe just do that. Shift. Daniel, did you spend much time on brick filming forums and websites, brickfilms.com, Bricks in Motion, that sort of thing when you were working on NNN back in the day? Yeah, I definitely went to those places. I've never been a huge person participating in online forums, but I did spend time on those forums, especially, when I needed help on figuring out technical things. Bricks in Motion was a huge success, or a huge resource for me. They would always have answers to really specific questions I had. This is my next how to build. So this right now is a how to build. So at the end of this, I will save this file, and then I'll put it up on my website and send it all out so all of you can download it and play around with it, and mess around with it at home. So this is a bit different than how I used to do how to builds, building it all in advance on YouTube, but I'll also put this video up on YouTube for people who weren't able to make it today. It's a bit different than my normal how to build, but it's kind of the model I need to use going forward, is just kind of building things in real time, because my life has changed a bunch. And well, let's actually round out a little bit the front of Zundar's mouth. So, dun, 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 dun. Looks good for the front. Maybe some of these, like that. And then another one like that. And then we can do maybe a 4x4 up there. So it looks like this is actually pulling real green pieces and not giving me pieces that don't exist, which is super nice, because it's always disappointing to use a digital program and then try to build it in real life and the pieces don't exist. Let's see. We'll see how this video goes over on the channel, and when I upload it to YouTube later, to get a sense of, because I think a lot of people who are in my audience haven't even seen the announcement video I did for this. Thank all of you for being here. You're obviously super fans for seeing that and showing up. Oh, what did I do here? This is not symmetrical. And this is probably not the best place for that. This probably should be there. Yeah. Tim says, what do you spend most of your time doing? I'm in school right now, so I spend most of my time doing homework. So I'm in a graduate program learning about game design, which encompasses both video game design and like board game design. Basically, all my Lego is in storage right now. If you've watched some of the recent videos I've uploaded on YouTube, I have some videos talking about why, you know, I had to change the business model that I had for Brick 101, where I was making these videos, and a lot of it's outside of my control based on changes that YouTube made. So yeah, I kind of had to shift my career a lot, so I can't spend my days making Lego models and getting paid for it the way I was able to do for a while with Brick 101. So I'm just kind of filling in this whole layer now with plate, just so we've got a nice even surface to work with. And we've got that under level of plate providing some connections. So yeah, I used to spend, you know, most of my days working on Lego builds and Lego videos, but since 2018, I haven't really been able to do that and profit from it. So I went back and got a day job for a while, and then that didn't pan out. So now I'm in school, which has been really nice. It's been a nice new way to explore my creativity. And, you know, I've been producing some things that I'm really proud of, which is nice. I know that, you know, all of you who have come to know me because of my Lego stuff just want me to do Lego stuff again. And I understand it. Like that was what I did for years, so it makes sense. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work as a business model for me anymore. So that's one of the reasons I'm trying this thing today, is that this is a different business model, right? Like you had to pay for a ticket to show up here, and that I'm not actually getting any money out of this. This is just me helping out Brickworld because they're trying to change their business model given everything that's going on in the world right now. Live events aren't feasible. But I thought, you know, why not use this as an opportunity for me to try out something new with my audience and see what people are willing to show up for. You know, it's not, this is a experimentation period. I think there's going to be another Brickworld Virtual in June, and I'll be back for that, and I'll be building something else, right? And maybe next time I'll just do Five Nights at Freddy's, since everybody voted for Nightly's at 9 today. I'll just do Five Nights at Freddy's next time, and we'll see how people show up for that, and you know, I'll have a new build made out of that, right? And this is my way of getting back into a place where I'm making Lego models for my audience, and without it being the old way, because the old way doesn't work. So, you know, it won't ever, it's not going to be the way it used to be, but I hope that we can find a new way that'll still be fun and get you cool Lego content from me, and, you know, go from there. And we'll figure it out together, because, you know, I'm still here. I'm still a fun, creative person, and I just had to make some changes. So yeah, like I'm still committing to making fun content on the internet. Like that, I'm always going to do that. It's just not going to look exactly the same as it used to. But yeah, this is a pretty great bottom of Zundar's mouth. Let me stretch for a second. You're welcome, Tim. And thank you for the compliment, AJV. And yes, T-Rex, Kappa has definitely made it harder to be a kid-focused YouTuber. Not that Legos are just for kids, but we all know, you know, Lego attracts kids more than it does adults. So that was always a reality of my channel. Kevin asked what got me into brick films. So what got me into brick films? I got a video camera when I was 8 years old, and by I got a video camera, I mean my family got it, because back in those days, getting a video camera was a pretty rare thing. I'm gonna look for some slope pieces now. Oh, I have the word plate there. Let's say slope. Excuse me. Because I'm looking for a good thing to represent Zundar's teeth here. I love this piece. This is such a weird green piece. but I think this piece might be a little bit better for like those teeth at the very front of Zundar's mouth. Maybe actually we should do both because it's kind of like one like that. So that was back in like the old days of 1992 or 93 when my family got a video camera. This is, I don't, actually, I think they should be a little steeper slope than that. So this is one thing that I do in my building process is I try something out, and if it doesn't look right, then I just take it off. So that doesn't really match the look I'm going for with Zundar here. Oh, these pieces could be cool, but I'm gonna go with good old 2x2 slopes. You know, they've treated me well for many years, so let's do one of those. So anyway, I just started making films with Lego when I was 8 years old with an old school video camera where I had to press record and then stop for a second, and then made animations very not cool looking. You know, they were very stuttery. That was how I started making Lego movies. They weren't, well, those were animated, but before that, I just would kind of puppet Lego characters with my hands in front of the camera. And that was how I made Lego films. Let's get a tile here. Ooh. It's nice that they're using all the words that I would use to describe Lego, which makes sense because this is all built on the Bricklink inventory, which is what, you know, most of us adult fans have agreed on are the easiest names to remember for Lego pieces. Different than Lego's actual names, but that's okay. You know, I think that might actually need to be a little higher. I think also the bottom here might need to be thicker. But I'm gonna keep going forward here because we don't have a million hours. We've just got a couple, and I'd like to have at least a complete sense of Zundar's head. So I'm not gonna focus on the bottom more than I already have. Let's go back to slopes. So yeah, so I basically taught myself brick filming over the years alone because there was no internet when I started making movies. So I was just making the things I thought were cool and fun and sharing them with, you know, my friends and family and like classmates at school for school projects. And, you know, it wasn't until high school, the early 2000s, that, well, actually college, the mid 2000s, when YouTube came out and I started putting them online. And there was also, you know, a whole community of people who were putting videos on the internet on brickfilms.com that I started to realize like, oh, there's other people out here doing this. I can learn from them. And, you know, really started to get deeper into what we would call brick filming. And then when I graduated from college, I had the concept for Nightly News at 9. I had done a pilot in college, which is the very first video on Brick 101, if you go back, about Phil's briefcase. And then I worked on the script for chapter 1 and chapter 2 after that point. And, you know, the rest is brick filming history. I kind of like these corner bricks here. So let's clone one there and clone this one. And this is a trick, right? Since these are already rotated the direction I want them, cloning the one from the other side and dragging it over is a lot faster than doing it from scratch. And actually, let's rotate these pieces so they're going in, and clone one and rotate it going that way maybe. And let me zoom in here so you can all see what I'm doing a little bit better. Working on this Zundar mouth. You know, these aren't the best curves, but, you know, again, it's good enough for our purposes today. Go back to clone. This is very relaxing just to build with Lego. I haven't built creatively with Lego recently a lot. You know, there's been a lot of other things going on in my life, and I haven't been able to do this. So this is really fun. Thanks everybody for joining me for this. I'm having a blast. This also makes me think of building Soccersaurus because it was a lot of green on green on green. Yeah, and if anybody else has a question about anything, just let me know. Jet, when's my next YouTube video? Well, you're in my next YouTube video right now, Jet. This is my next YouTube video. So I'm recording this whole presentation, and after it's done, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Oh, great question. Daniel's asking about the zany creative NNN universe, and are there similar Lego themes that capture that feel? I would argue classically time cruisers and time cruisers and time raiders. I don't know. The time travel themes were super weird and funny. Time twisters, yeah, that's it. No, McFarlane Toys has not sent me Wave 5 because I stopped reviewing sets and I told them that, and so they haven't sent me anything. Yeah, so time twisters was a great one. These days, I love things like Trolls and Unikitty. I think they just have such wild builds in them. They're super fun. All these brick-built characters. I was a big fan of Elves, which is very different. It's more of a high fantasy feel, but you know there is a bit of high fantasy in NNN even. Also, things like Mixels, I think, did a great job of just capturing the weirdness of Lego. So yeah, stuff like that has definitely been super fun and creative from Lego. And I think, you know, Nightly News at 9 was inspired by Lego. So, you know, it's easy to find Lego themes that are similar because I was kind of copying them. Let's do one there. I did just see some of the Monkey Kid sets, and those look cool too. I also love the new Venom T-Rex from Spider-Man. Kevin was asking what's my favorite thing I've built. One of my favorite things I've ever built, the Trixie Mattel brickhead I really liked. I also really liked my Scooby-Doo brickhead. Those are some recent things. I was really proud of Mangle that I built from Five Nights at Freddy's. That was one of the most complicated characters I think I built. The puppet turned out really well. I'm proud of most of my builds, honestly. The giant voxel link was super cool. I'm loving this right now. The octopus machine, you know, there's so many cool things I've built. This is Mango. Oh, I'm not watching your video right now if you're trying to show me that. Sorry, because I'm focused on this screen. But I saw you holding up a build earlier, Jet. Oh, the Witherstorm was also really cool. However, the Witherstorm I didn't build. So Mark, who runs Brickworld, built the Witherstorm. So I had hired him to do Godzilla, Metal Sonic, Knuckles, a couple other builds. So in the later years of Nightly News of Brick 101 How to Build, I was actually outsourcing. So Kevin Hinkle, who was on this stream at the very beginning, also did some builds on my channel. So he did Yoshi, I want to say. Did he do more than just Yoshi? I don't know. He did an awesome Yoshi. So shout out to Kevin Hinkle for his awesome Yoshi. So I'm trying to see, this is the right size. That might have gone too high with that last thing there. So let's delete that. And maybe just cap off this thing here. Let's do this as a tile. Daniel, I love how supportive you are of the weirder Lego stuff. Sometimes I feel like the Lego fan community hyper focuses on the big, epic, serious looking display sets. Yeah, like the new haunted house set that just came out, I think it's boring. I know people are excited about it, but I'm like, this is not as fun as the other haunted house sets. Like, give me the Monster Hunters haunted house. Give me the Scooby-Doo haunted house. Those were fun, weird, wacky things. The Scooby-Doo line was great too. One of my most popular things on my channel ever were those reviews, which was pretty awesome. So yeah, I am all about weird Lego. Um, you won't hear me talking about like, oh, giant Star Destroyer. I mean, that's fine if that's what you're into. It's just not my thing. Um, yes, AJV, we have talked extensively about Nightly News at 9 and continuing the series at Brickworld Chicago over the years. And we've talked about, yeah, if anybody ever wants to, you know, produce something in the Nightly News at 9 universe, I'm super supportive of that because, yeah, like I don't have the bandwidth to produce it anymore. And so anything people want to do, I will support as much as I can.
Gibby texted me 10 times today. What did he text you?
We've got some.
302. I love you, Mom. Wait. For you. It was for my mom.
Hold on. There's background noise. Stop this for a second. Sorry, I'm gonna mute. Yeah, mute you. Just so don't get too much noise. Go back to that. Okay. So we've got a pretty good first two teeth mark for Zundar here. Let me pull up chat again. Just joined, said Lisa. What software is this? This is the software Studio. It's SD Studio, stud.io. It's available from Bricklink. Yeah, it's a cool digital Lego design program that integrates directly with Bricklink, so you can order things after you build them, and you can see how much this would theoretically cost as you're building. So yeah, I'm working on Zundar Silverspine right now. You know what? We're just going to use some more of these and do that. And you know, I'm not trying to finesse this to be perfect because, you know, this is kind of just a quick ad hoc build. When I build things historically for how to build, it's a very long process of just coming up with a build and making it, you know, to my standards. So, you know, I'll build something that could take 8 hours of just fiddling with it, and then I'll let it sit for a while. I might come back, play with it for a couple hours, move things around. It takes a long time to kind of get it to the place that I like it. And, you know, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this way today, is just to show you what the process looks like when I just start building something, right? Because you always just see the finished product, and that doesn't give you a sense of what it takes to make it. So this is a lot more real time of how far can I get in just, you know, we've only got an hour left, and I'm still only on the bottom lip of Zundar's mouth here. You know, trying to get that new bumpy thing there. I think we'll go up one more. And just kind of using some basic pieces over and over again so that I don't have to do a lot of time searching for pieces. not the way I'd do it if I was, building this for finished product, but then also sometimes it's good to just do a rough draft build of something to get the sense of the shape, and then you can go back and finesse it later. And I often have multiple versions of builds that I do, and when I'm doing them digitally, they all get saved. And then I have all the different versions, and I can go between them and stuff like that. So yeah. Virtual Animal Crossing Nooks Cranny store. Yeah, you could totally do that. So yeah, even if Lego doesn't have a way for you to buy that from them, there's people on the internet who sell Lego pieces in bulk that through Bricklink that you could probably order from, and Studio would connect you to it. Daniel asking about the audience I had in mind for NNN. When I first wrote it, it wasn't specifically for kids. It was definitely more for like a teenage audience. Like I was in college when I wrote it, and I wrote it for my peers, what they would find funny, but peers who are also into Lego, which is not a huge amount of people in their 20s is into Lego when I was in my 20s. Probably a lot more now, but that was kind of the idea. So now I'm looking for kind of like a fun curvy piece. I think I'll use this one because I have a lot of those in real life for this curve here. Again, this is, that's way too high, but you know what? All right, we'll fix it real quick. And this is the process of doing a build, right? You build what you think will look right, and then you look against your reference model, if you have a reference model, and be like, nope, that's not right. That's too high. So that's what I'm doing here with the Zundar image that's off to the side. This is looking amazing. Do I like dragons? No, I don't like dragons. I love dragons. Dragons are so cool. So yeah, when I was first designing NNN, it wasn't for kids necessarily. I wanted it to be accessible by kids, but it was definitely written more to an audience of people who would be into like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was watching a lot of at the time, and so I thought of it as my Buffy in a lot of ways. This is a cool piece I want to use, but it's not right for this place. So we're just going to flip this around. The other fun thing about building digitally is you can have something like an overhang there, which would normally you wouldn't really be able to do and then fit a brick under it. But when it's digital, you can just pop a brick in there, boop, without having to take apart your work. This whole back section is going to be a lot higher, so we should probably just start building it up more. And what we're going to do is let's do a 1x2 brick. And, oh, what did I do there? Like, that was not supposed to go like that. Oh, what have I done? Oh, it went under. Okay. That was weird. I'm still learning this program. Thank you for all hanging out with me while I...
Hello?
First time. Hello.
So, have you done the thing where we got to choose what you should build next?
Yeah, so that was at the beginning of the stream. We chose, people voted for Nightly News at 9. I read through this a script of chapter 3, and now I'm trying to build Zundar's head. And
is it this dragon?
Yeah, so it's that dragon you can see on my screen I'm kind of building.
Okay, it's starting to look good.
Thank you. So yeah, so I'm recording this and I'll put it all up on YouTube. So if you missed the first part, you can watch it later. And I'm getting all sorts of notifications and pop-ups that I can't look at right now. But that's what we're doing.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. I know this isn't really how his face curves, but it just kind of looks cool, I think. Oh, classic Lego theme to bring back. I would love Aquazone to come back. That was a theme that I experienced as a kid growing up that was a big deal for me. They've brought back a lot of Aquazone type things. What was the one that we had? Atlantis was great. I just love underwater themes. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, even if the curves aren't matching up exactly. Like, I think it'll be pretty cool. All right, let's just get some big bricks to fill up this back part here because we need to get up to different parts of his head. So, yeah, 8 by 16 bricks. Love these bricks. They're so absurdly big. But when you're building something that's absurdly big, they're perfect. Okay. And maybe this 4 by 6 brick. A couple of. I'm going to focus a little more on this side now. And just going to throw another one of these in here. And just trying to bulk this up a little bit so we can get to other parts of the face. So what's interesting is his face kind of curves up a lot. Let's just do that across there real fast. So I'm going to focus maybe just on the side here, because like doing the symmetrical bit on the other side is something that I'd want to do to finish this. But when you're doing something that's symmetrical, you can just focus on one side first and make sure that looks right. And then later you're just copying and pasting it. It's really nice to do the copy and paste part because it's just like, it can be meditative if you're doing it in the real world, just like you know what you're doing. It's kind of like following instructions that you made for yourself. But right now, it's probably not the best use of this stream time. So let's get back here and start dealing with the back of his head. So we're going to need to like fan out for the silver parts starting soon. So let's get some. Silver is a really hard color to work in. Let's see what silver parts we even have. Silver? Chrome silver? Those pieces can't exist. No, those pieces do not exist. So maybe these green pieces don't exist. Oops. Let's just do gray, because that's a color that's more likely to exist for all of these. And let's do some curved slopes. The ones I'm thinking of, kind of like this piece. This is kind of what I'm thinking for like the back parts here. Except we want that to go the other direction. Am I gonna need, are there upside down versions of this? Somebody's asking about, oh, here we go. This is what I want. So basically, put one of these out here just for a second. Then I'm gonna move above and pull this out and then twist it around like that. So you can see I'm starting to try and get the silver edge of his like fin ear thing. I don't know what that's called on a dragon, like a fan gill wing. So starting to try and again, I'm not going to be able to do this whole head in super detail, especially since we've only got 57 minutes left. But trying to bring it back a waddle. That's a good name for it. I like it. Like a turkey, right? But trying to get as much detail as I can so that I can get a sense of it.
Can I ask you something?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, can I do a request video, maybe?
So you're asking if you could request me to build something?
Yes.
I'm not taking other requests at this point because I'm just so full of stuff. That's why I kind of structured this to be the voting. But I'll do another one of these at the next Brickworld Virtual.
There's going to be another one?
Yeah, there's going to be another one in June. So if you look on the Brickworld website, you can see kind of their upcoming schedule of events, and I'll definitely be back.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah. And you can buy an annual pass that gets you into all of the events. It's a little bit cheaper than if you buy a ticket every time.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so if you already bought a ticket today, you can certainly like email Brickworld, and I'm sure they'll let you convert into an annual pass if you want to do that. But yeah, I'm planning to be at all the Brickworld Virtuals and do this kind of stuff where I just build that day.
Okay.
And whatever the people vote for is what we'll build.
Well, can I tell you why I was thinking like that would probably be saying if you wanted to build, I guess?
You can say what you're going to build, but or what you want, but no guarantees.
I know.
Yeah.
So how were you able to do the faceplates from the sister location figures? I'm just asking.
Oh, for sister location, having the things open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do like your Funtime Freddy figure or Ennard, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. So I didn't build those, obviously. Yeah, it was, if you look at my Ballora and whatchamacallit, baby videos, I spend some time showing how those faceplates are connected. So that would, like they kind of build off of a head model where there's, clips that can attach. It's hard to do. Like, it was not the easiest thing to do. So, but that would be my best advice, would be to like kind of closely study the baby and Ballora. Have you built those yourself from the ones
No, but I built your Golden Freddy though.
Yeah. So I would say try to build Ballora and Circus Baby and see what those techniques are, and that would be a good starting place. If anybody else wants to turn on their microphone and ask me a question, you can feel free to do that too.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And Daniel was asking, I've covered a lot of different parts of the hobby on my channel, instructions, set reviews, animations, and which parts do I like more than others. I'm trying to get the waddle going here, as we're calling it, for Zundar's head fins. So
Zundar Silverspine.
Zundar Silverspine. I'm trying to do what I can there. What was I going to say? I've loved a lot of different parts of the hobby. I really enjoyed a lot of the things I did. I found ways to make things fun for me, even set reviews, which I didn't think I would like at first. I don't know why it keeps doing this weird thing where it's making some things invisible. That's something I don't really understand. AJV is heading out, but it was phenomenal being here. Thanks for showing up. It was great having you here and having you pull up all the different Nightly News at 9 props while I talked out the script. That was better than I could have planned for, because I was thinking I'd pull up photos or something. But yeah, back to Daniel's question about which part do I enjoy more. I definitely, came to find ways to enjoy them all myself. Or enjoy all of them, or tried to. But I definitely, let's actually go ahead and save this model right now so I don't lose it. I'm just gonna put this on my desktop. I really don't know what the program is doing right now to why it's making those invisible. Does anybody who knows stud.io know what's happening there? Oh well, we're moving on. All right, so let's go back to curved slopes. My phone is just popping off in the background there. I don't know who's trying to talk to me, but they have to wait. I'm on the internet. Did I hide the bricks? I don't know. Did I? How do you hide bricks? Ah, there it was. I think. Nope. Now they're hidden. Are they colliding? Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but I'm just gonna keep on keeping on because we've got a time limit, so figure it out later. All right, they're spelling gray like that. Let's do maybe like these for this silver piece of the wattle.
So, I have a small question.
Yeah. Go for it.
What are you, like, what are you doing in this? I'm just asking.
Oh, like on the stream right now.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, so if you look
like,
on the left-hand side, you see that image of a dragon over there?
Yes, it's
So
Zundar Silverspine.
So I'm trying to recreate that really big in Lego. So Zundar Silverspine, I'm trying to draw his head, or build his head gigantically. And I'm doing it live in a digital program called stud.io, which I haven't used before, so I'm learning as I go. But it's turning out pretty good, I think, for me having no previous experience in this program. I think we're getting a sense of, the shape here, even if everything's not the way I would, finesse it. But yeah, it was just kind of an experiment of what can we do live on stream together as a new experiment for Brick 101. So that's a pretty good approximation of the bottom two spines. And then other ones are going to be a lot sharper upwards. So I'm going to build a little more green brick. So let's go back to brick. And just fill this area in. Again, you usually don't see this part of my process, which is me just like futzing around trying to figure out the shape of something. You usually see a beautiful final product that hides all of this this back end work. But this is what it always takes. Lego models don't come into existence fully formed. Even official Lego models have to go through a long iterative process of do slope, and we'll do gray, Kierden, of building and rebuilding to turn into, official Lego products and whatnot. So this one we're gonna do steeper. And I'm not getting a lot of the three-dimensionality here that we would have in how these are shaped, these wattle fins. You can see this is not the best representation of that, but it's a quick and dirty one, which works. And for this, yeah, not all the pieces on here are real. You're right. I thought they were real at first, and then I realized they are definitely not all real. So that's another thing, is that I'd have to you know, go back and figure that out before I would turn this into a model I'd share with all of you on YouTube that I was using real pieces. So let's see, we'll do, got like one more that kind of starts. We'll start it here. And it'll go up like this. So that is like a really, really quick and dirty block out of the back of his head there, right? With where the green has the little silver streaks on it. And it's not perfect, but this would be a good starting place just to get a sense of the size of where this build is. And sometimes that's important just to know what you're working from. Kevin's asking, did I ever digitally model your builds before I made them, or did I start with the bricks? I usually started with the bricks. However, when I worked with other builders like Mark and Kevin, I would usually, it would always be a digital process because they're not where I live. So they would do a digital model. I would give them feedback. They'd do another digital model. Then I would build it with bricks and I would make changes. I did 1 or 2 builds kind of digitally, I think, but most of them I do physically with bricks. That's just how I build, you know, that's like my natural building style. Yeah, but right now I don't have access to my pieces. Ooh, we're gonna use a 16 by 16, even though that probably definitely doesn't exist in green. Oh no, that exists in green because like the Minecraft sets. Anyway, so we're gonna start building the top of Zundar's mouth now. So I'm just going to do a real rough and dirty plate across to get a baseline to build from. Again, not really the way I would do it in the final version, but you know, we're trying to do this quick, so we've got to change things. I'm taking a short break to stretch and drink some water because my mouth is tired. Daniel asks, are there aspects of old YouTube that I miss? It's hard, right? Because I understand why YouTube has changed over the years, and a lot of those changes have been really good. But, you know, it's really sad right now that the way YouTube is, I can't really do what I used to do there. You know, like in my announcement video for what I'm doing right now, I talked about how, you know, getting comments on videos was a huge part of how I decided what to do on my channel. And on videos that are for kids, which most of my content qualifies as for a variety of reasons I've talked about in length on other videos, I just can't do that anymore. So I have to do different things. So I missed the ability to get comments on every video. Yeah, it's sad that that's no longer around, but I do like the basic functionalities of YouTube better now than they used to be, because it's a lot more improved just for like how to upload and stuff like that. This whole plate up here is kind of off center, so let's maybe move that. Can I just move this piece? And all right, that's looking better for those like front 2 teeth there. My first how to build video was how to build a pinch bot. It was back in 2011, 2012, I want to say.
Hello.
Hello.
The dragon's starting to look very good.
Thank you.
Greatness. Actually, it's looking a lot like the smaller version.
Thank you. Let's see if I can find a Technic half pen. What would that be called? Definitely doesn't exist in green, but that's okay. Oh, here. You know what? I could use. Would this work? basically just trying to invert the studs here. Normally I'd use Technic half pins for that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, what was your very first Lego build that you've done on your channel?
So the first how to build I did was a pinch bot. Somebody else asked what's the first Lego set I ever got, which was it was a basic set with these Moo Moo people in it and a bunch of doors and windows and stuff. All right, I'm not finding a Technic half pin, but what I was trying to do is take this piece here and flip it upside down to put it on the bottom of those slopes there, but that's not happening. So we're just gonna move on.
I actually think I know how you could do that. You know those circular tube pieces that go in holes, I guess?
Yeah.
What if you use those and put the piece on the top of them, I guess?
That was, yeah, what I kind of what I was trying to do. I just can't find them in studio because I don't know what they're called. So that's, okay, that's lining up pretty well with the whole, oh wait, no, actually this should be back further because, let me,
Can I actually show you something?
I can't look at video screen right now, but trying to keep building.
You are building this.
Yeah.
It is starting to look good though.
Yeah, no, I think it's coming out pretty well for me never having built this before. This is just,
This is your first time using this kind of thing? Like,
this is my first time using this program Studio. I've used Lego Digital Designer before, but it no longer works on my computer because of how Apple just changed their operating system, unfortunately. Yeah, which I probably would have able to been a little bit faster in that, but this is going pretty well, so it works out. Thank you for everybody saying that you would love this to be a real Lego set, and it looks beautiful.
I would actually also would like this to be a real Lego set. Could be like a Lego Ideas, maybe.
Yeah, let's see. We have those blue Technic half pins.
Oh, wait. You know those Technic pin 3 that's? Oh, yeah, like those, but they're shortened.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I call it a Technic half pin, but I guess I don't know what they call it, but they should be like right here, you know? But you get the idea.
Yeah. Like I usually sometimes use those whenever I'm trying to do like something from upside down.
Yeah.
I usually use the shorter ones that you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to some other teeth here. And if anybody else wants to, you can feel free to ask me a question on voice chat at this point because, yeah, feel free.
Hey!
Hello.
Okay, so I have a question. Why, when did you start doing your YouTube channel?
So Brick 101 started back in 2009. Whereas I had an old channel called Fallen Tomato that was from 2007, I want to say. And when I started, it was nightly news at 9. But, you know, over the years, it shifted and became Brick 101. So it's been around for 11-ish years at this point. And I've been on YouTube since my original channel for over 13 years. So longer than some people have been alive.
I just want to ask, if this is the thing that won, are you going to build this in real life?
So, you know, I think if I were to continue building this, right, I would probably just keep building it digitally. Because the new way of how to build I'm trying to do is build things digitally so that you can literally download instructions for them. So, you know, theoretically, I would eventually want to build this in real life, but I'd start by finishing this digitally so that y'all could do that. But let's go back to curved slopes and let's do gray. So that's kind of my new line of thinking for how to build. We'll be doing things digitally so that y'all can have step-by-step instructions that aren't in a video. And that can also get you a parts list and stuff like that. And this, I already know there'll be things I'll need to change, but that's okay.
By the way, have you ever done any mini builds on your YouTube channel?
I've done some micro scale builds and things. So there's definitely been smaller builds. Do you mean mini builds like the way Brick and Nick does them?
I'm not sure, like almost like half the size of a brickhead small.
Yeah, I definitely like my Five Nights at Freddy's double figs would maybe qualify as that. So those were kind of like minifigures with
like the bigger heads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've actually built some of those before.
Yeah, that probably qualifies. Daniel has to get going, but it was great hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging out, Daniel. You had some great questions. All right, what did I just put a piece inside a piece? All right.
By the way, I might know what you could use for the fins on the back of the head. Dragon wings.
That's a great suggestion, actually. That there are really good green dragon wings. That's perfect. I love that idea. Trying to get this nose right.
I just want to also say this kind of reminds me of like when you're trying to build something for 3D printing, kind of.
Yeah. So 3D printing, you're usually using a digital CAD program, computer-assisted design, and in a lot of ways, Studio is just a Lego computer-assisted design program. So the basic idea is the same. Creating a model in 3 dimensions on your computer. Let's copy that. Yeah, that's definitely the same kind of concept, and can be pretty important. And can I change the color of this? Here? Yeah, perfect. That's a pretty good nostril right there. Let me just put some.
Yeah, it does look good.
Like, make that black.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Are you going to make a nightly news at 9:03?
So at the beginning of this stream, we actually read a script for Nightly News at 9:03. So I did a whole voice read through of it. So I recorded this whole thing, and hopefully it recorded everything. And I will put that up on the YouTube channel for those who weren't able to make it. So it's not animated, but it is a script that I wrote, and that was one of my concepts for Nightly News at 9:03. So you'll be able to see that hopefully by tomorrow.
Yay!
Yay!
So I'm not even going to connect this piece to anything, but just the idea that would be the nostril hole, and I'd figure out a way to connect it. But only got 30 minutes left, and I want to at least get the rest of the side of his head in, so we got something there. And then, the top here, we probably just tile a lot of, like that. Something.
Earlier, I think you said that this program tells you how much your build currently costs. At some point, will you tell us where you're at?
I'm sure it's super high at this point. Let me see. I know that's a feature, but again, I've not used this before. Let's see. Model. Because like when I click on a piece, sometimes it tells me the price right there. So you can see this piece I have costs about 5 cents. And so I'm sure there's a way to see a total model cost, but I don't know how to do that. But I will, so what I'm gonna do after I finish with this stream today in half an hour is I will put a digital file of this on my website. I'll upload a video probably tomorrow with this and link to that so y'all can download it and play around with it, and try to finish building it or do whatever you want with it. And I'll probably also come back to this at some point to make it more what I want, but I'm just going to share it out because this is going to be my new model for how to build, is that I'll build something and then just give you what I did digitally so you can play around with it, because that's the fun of Lego, is trying to build things, right? So yeah, eventually we'd hopefully get to a place where this would be a model you could buy. Right now, I've probably been using pieces that don't exist. So I'd have to go back and figure that out. But yeah, this is my first time doing this type of build stream. And Kevin, to your question, yeah, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, of trying to do something like this. Where I just kind of casually build while y'all ask me questions, rather than just doing, kind of finished product videos. So it's definitely something I want to try out, and y'all are here with me on the very first stream, so I really appreciate you being guinea pigs and seeing how it goes. So, we'll figure it out together, how well these work.
Do you know if this studio program works on Windows as well?
I believe it does. I downloaded it for the first time. I don't know though. Kevin says it does. Thanks, Kevin.
Great.
Oh yes, Kevin.
Did you ever get the Godzilla set approved?
No, it did not get enough votes. So it only got 2,000 or 3,000 votes, and it needed 10,000. So unfortunately, it expired and, isn't getting turned into a Lego set. So that was pretty disappointing, because I thought we'd have enough people to do it. With 700,000 subscribers, I figured I could get 10,000 people to vote for it. But
Disappointing.
Yeah, it was. I was super excited about it. So yeah, that was sad.
Maybe try a King Ghidorah one.
I don't know that I'll build that, but it's a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right, let's do a 4x4 radar dish, and then we're gonna make this black.
I made this thing already.
You made this dragon already?
No, I made this bus.
Oh, this bus. I can't see your video right now, so.
Never mind. It's sort of like a bus.
Like a school bus?
Yeah, it's a little more smaller, really small.
Nice.
Like a van.
So
I got the dragon too. I got that dragon, but it's black.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good eye, I think. Like this is turned out pretty good. Like I would definitely have to make some changes. Like the top of the head is obviously very bare bones right now. I'd need to get it to be more curvy. This whole area was pretty all over the place. This back fin needs some work. Let's quickly do some like chin waddles just to make it feel. And so what I'd probably want to do here is Kevin's asking about the old 1975 minifigures. So those are the ones without arms or like individual legs, correct? Like the old school. I think they might do something as like a historical. All right, is he gonna let me do what I want to do here, which is put a piece not attached to anything?
figures.
Let's. So this is like, I'm not even attaching this piece officially. I'm just trying to, again, quickly give you a sense of what this would look like.
Almost 5 o'clock.
I think there is a chance that they might do something like that as a like a gift with purchase type thing for the Lego store. That's when they'll often do, or like a exclusive giveaway at Lego House. I could see that happening. I don't see that really being in a mainline set unless they wanted to do something really kind of silly with it. The Lego mobile game called, what is it? Lego Legacy?
Lego Legacy, yes.
Yeah, has one of those figures in it. It's the bad guy. Rorarim is actually an old school minifigure, which I thought was pretty funny. But that's a digital game, so it's a lot easier to do than physical products. All right, let's try to get this lined up.
Lego Monkey Kid.
Yeah, that just was announced. Pretty cool.
I've heard like someone else say I was earlier on the Lego Masters thing,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody said said something about Monkey Kid. What is that about? What's that all about? I haven't heard anything about that.
It's a new theme that Lego just announced like yesterday, I want to say. So I think there's already images on like shop.lego.com. And it's also going to be an animation, and it's based on like Chinese mythology. The
Version of the West.
Yeah. So the tale of the Monkey King as opposed to the Monkey Kid, but this is their take on it. All right. I'm having trouble lining this one up here, but there we go. There's his waddle. Just trying to zoom through the last bit here. Let's even just put some green here for this.
That looks so cool.
By the way, I know you're saying that they're his waddles, but I just can't help but call them his Zundar Silverspines.
Oh yeah, they are his silver spines, in fact. Zundar Silverspine, thank you for building my face today. It was lovely.
Yo, yeah. I got me a dragon. It's sort of Xander, but it's black, and his name is Sado.
Yeah, that was from Fright Nights that they had the black one. That was the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this whole nostril here and flip it around. So that's like the really cool thing about doing things digitally is that you can copy and paste, which is, just kind of awesome. It's a lot faster than building in the real world. So let me see, can I like multi-select?
I have another question. Was Zundar's was he just a green dragon and then you painted on the silver, or did it come with the silver?
Yeah, I just painted the silver on.
Whoa.
Yeah, the dragon that I used for Zundar is still around in my collection. It's not, they don't put it in sets anymore. They do different types of dragons now, but it was the official Lego dragon back in the 90s. All right, let's see. So this one I'm not going to flip around because that's not going to work just right, but we're going to put it over there, and then we'll manually mess it around. And it's not going to be in the exact right place, but we're just going to try to make this kind of look cool for the end of the stream. So
yes.
there. So yeah, that's already looking pretty good. And we could do the same thing with this whole wing spine thing here. This is gonna be weird. Let's just try it though. Maybe we'll do just like this part first. It's hard to select just the pieces you want, but all right, and now we're gonna just shove this in his mouth and then delete the extra stuff. So again, this is not the way you would do like a final polished model, but if you're just trying to get the sense of the shape of something, you know, just kind of roughly blocking it out can get you really far, and it can, you can play around with shapes and see what looks good and what doesn't. All right, now let's.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's. And a lot of it is about just getting the right camera angles for when you want to select a certain group of things. And then we're gonna put this all here. It's getting angry at me for selecting so many pieces at once. All right, this is kind of ridiculous. All right, let's zoom out. Oh, where did it go?
It's gone.
All right, I got another one. Oh, wait, there it is. Ah. So lining this up is kind of absurd because this is like 3D space, but I only see it in 2 dimensions. And so where it wants to go, that's pretty close. Can you get it? That's good enough.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Oh, no, it's not. That's totally wrong.
Oh, no.
Oops. All right, let's just do this, though. Let's get rid of all of this. Da, da, da.
Banana.
Right? Okay, now I can just grab this chunk, which is a little less cumbersome, and put it there. Come on. So it's backwards, but it's there. It's like that switch got left behind. So, yeah, like, I still don't know why those pieces turned invisible. It's super weird, right? But this is starting to feel like a 3D model of Zundar Silverspine's head. And, you know, we did this in what, maybe 2 hours, really? Since maybe not even that, an hour.
2 hours.
Because the first part, we were just reading the script. So this build part has only been a lot of part. And, you know, next I would I'd probably take this whole top section and move this up higher because, and I'd also make this wing waddle thing bigger because it's not really in proportion to what I started down here on the bottom. You know, I'd smooth out this more. I'd double check which of these pieces actually exist. I think that's what all of these exclamation points here. Yeah, these are, all these got exclamation points are pieces that don't actually exist in that color. But that's fine, you know, I could figure that out. And this is just a rough block out, right? This is, especially for something this big, right? It's, unless I'm building in real life with real bricks, it's hard to know exactly what pieces. And I'm sure there's a setting in Studio that would let me only use real pieces, but I don't know that. Again, I'm new to the program. But let's save this. And, oh, can I upload it to my Studio? Let me sign into, I'm gonna not share my screen while I type in a password here. Hello, everybody, nice to see you again. Now I can actually see your faces now that I'm not just looking at.
Need a
Studio.
Lego Mech. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
You like my mech, everyone?
I made this thing.
Okay,
That's
let
awesome.
me get my password here.
And I made this thing.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah, I see your bus, and that
Bunny.
looks like
Bunny.
Withered Bonnie.
Yeah.
Fredbear's family diner.
Spring Bonnie and Fredbear.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool.
They also have removable head to have endoskeletons.
Oh,
Oh,
that's very clever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
I made this.
Smart. That is smart.
This
Awesome.
map is just all over the place. It has fire coming out of everything. There's like 50 buttons up here.
I made this big thing.
Sadly, there's a coffee table.
Ugh,
I
this
made
thing's
this.
so big.
Board, a
Aircraft.
robot. Again, there's fire coming out of everywhere. There's a couple fish dotted around.
Oh, there's the mangle I see.
Mangle? Let me see.
Somebody's got a little holder for their smartphone so they can make animations and movies.
Let me see the mangle.
Very cool.
Here's the next model.
Freddy.
Here's the
Ready?
bow boat for the good guys.
Oh,
This
Oh,
is
jeez.
Freddy. He's from
Nice.
This is a mix that I could just do all the mixels.
Oh,
So Bonnie.
that's so fun.
And I made this mech. I made this oversized mech with a dragon mouth.
Yeah, I love it. It's so silly.
And I made this.
Yeah, very cool.
Epic.
There we go.
All right, let me see if I can upload this thing.
Zundar Silverspine.
Some more
Oh yeah, I also have the Voltron set.
Cool. Wait, I need to go get something.
Gotta go get my dragon. Oof. You go.
Okay. I have to remember my username. Okay. Okay, so looks like I was able to upload what I just did to the internet.
I made my own spring trap.
Oh,
I made a FNAF 2 office.
I made a fanat. I made a fanat. Well, I made a fanat mango and balloon boy.
I made a Robo Turtle.
I made. Can I show something?
Bionicle parts.
So,
Make it.
minute. Let me
Oh, and
finish uploading this. Zundar.
The epic
And-
dragster.
Zundar Silverspine.
Lefty.
Nice lefty.
Okay. So
I made spring trap.
Nice.
I
basically,
made this. I don't know what it is, but it exists.
okay. Oh, Mixel thing. Little
Alright.
star.
Can I show something?
This robot.
Yeah. Looks like was that Springtrap?
Yep.
Oh, Golden Freddy. Very cool. I like.
Oh my
Bruce
god.
Boy.
Cool. That is
Bruce Boy.
cool.
Thanks.
I made this.
Thank you.
So I made
Oh, big head.
It caught this Star Wars book.
Hey, nice.
I
Nice.
think I saw Chica there. Is that Chica?
It looks like
I
Chica.
made a mask.
Hey, does anyone here know of Castle Crashers?
Not me.
No.
I do. I do.
Well, I
I
made
love
this
that.
Lego Brickheads of the Grey Knight.
Oh, cool.
I just made Roblox
Oh, that's
And it
Piggy.
cool.
came with interchangeable pieces.
Oh, I like the pig. Yeah.
Wait, what about my favorite's Orange Knight, honestly.
Same here.
Yeah.
I play
quick
Minecraft,
question.
so.
Question?
Have you ever thought about doing a great ball contraption module?
I have. I used to love, giant ball contraptions. Like there was one at the museum in Philadelphia where I grew up as a kid in the Franklin Institute, where it's just like golf balls of all different colors going around endlessly. And I love that thing. So I've always really loved the great ball contraption, but I'm not a super technical builder, right? Like I don't really build things with gears and motors that often. So it would be a little intimidating. So that's one of the reasons I haven't done it.
I'm just asking.
I think it's cool.
If the FNAF side did win, what were you gonna build for it?
Well, I was gonna let people vote, so I was the 5 ideas I had were Glitch Trap,
Yes.
Dread Bear,
Yes, I
I
heard
want
it on the
to.
video.
Bucket Bob,
Yeah.
Candy Cadet, and something.
Big baby.
Yeah,
The baby.
'cause-
Scrap Baby?
No, not scrap
no,
baby.
egg baby. It's like an egg that has an
Oh,
egg
with
inside
a
of it.
thing inside of it.
Big Bang. I like weird things.
I have a
About,
Like, since I didn't get to vote, can I tell you what I originally wanted you to do?
You can, yeah, go for it.
So originally, I wanted you to either try to make Scrap Baby or Molten Freddy.
try maybe make creation from
Joy of Creation.
yes.
Oh, that's a different one, right? Like that's not.
Yeah, it's a fan game animatronic.
And T-Rex just said, "I'm gonna go. Thank you for doing this. Really enjoyed this, and I love the new concepts." Yeah, thanks for stopping in, T-Rex. So yeah, we've got about 11 minutes left. Let me. I'm just gonna show you that I uploaded it to Bricklink. So I don't have a link for it yet because
Oh my goodness, that looks amazing.
so they have to approve it. But
I need to get that. 'Cause that looks really neat.
so yeah, so I will.
Are you gonna try to do this on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I'm recording this whole video right now, so you're all being recorded. Surprise!
What?
hello, YouTube.
No way.
YouTube, it's me, Dragon at
That's
289.
amazing.
If you see me.
Like my YouTube channel.
So my plan is to, after this is finished, I'll stop the recording. I'll upload that to YouTube. It'll probably won't be up till sometime tomorrow, and then I'll put a link in the description to that Zundar head, and you can all download it and build with it or digitally or whatever.
Thank you.
And that's kind of going to be my model for how to build going forward, is rather than it being a finished model that I just showed
Like
you.
it's gonna be a specific part of the model?
It'll just be, I build it for 3 hours in something like this, and then whatever I build is what you get. It's not going to be the same, but I think it'll be fun. And
By the way, have you ever built like those life-size versions of a character like at Legoland they have?
no, I have not ever built anything that big.
Like if you do one for the giant, that'd be pretty cool. Like I think the largest half of the head already.
Largest thing I ever built was that 3D Link model that was like voxels, which was pretty big.
Oh, by the way, have you seen the new potential Lego idea sets?
They just announced those, right? Like that there were 27. I haven't looked at them yet. I just saw that.
Okay, well, 2
I
are
want
Legend
SpongeBob one to win.
The which
Where
one?
are they?
There's 2 Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild ones and one from Sonic Mania.
Oh, very cool.
Entitled Goose Game.
Oh, Untitled.
It's
yeah,
SpongeBob.
that too.
Wow.
I want the SpongeBob set.
Me too.
I
I
don't
want
Sonic
to win so
Sonic
bad.
Mania. Sonic
I'd
Mania.
pay $1 million just to have it. Oh my
Here,
god, take it,
put
take it!
I would
I'd either get the Sonic Mania set since it's a 2-in-1 build where you could either, it's like a Lego creator for Sonic Mania, but the Legend of Zelda, I know the 2 what they are. The first one is Ganon's Castle from Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Here is some sort of like a village tent shop area from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Very cool.
The Sonic Mania set comes with Dr. Robotnik, the Hard-Boiled Heavies, Dr. Robotnik's robot from Sonic Mania. It also comes with some parts for Green Hill Zone.
That's awesome. I would love for that to exist.
Yes.
I loved the Sonic minifigure, as you all may know.
And
so
for the Sonic minifigure, it would
I need
actually, you know
tails.
those posable short legs?
Yeah.
Like it would have those kind of legs, but in Sonic colors.
Yes, I want that.
oh, I forgot. I was gonna show these off. Let me.
This is the only bootleg I have of Sonic.
So I was at a comic book convention recently, and they had bootleg Five Nights at Freddy's Lego figures. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh
I
my
saw that.
goodness, that
What's
was
that?
Oh my gosh.
hilarious.
I seen that. I
That's
saw
that's
that.
Lego.
That-
That's literally like Lego minifigures.
Oh my
Not
god, Golden Freddy.
Congratulations. Those are better.
They're amazing.
Oh wait. Here,
That's
this is-
Lego.
Take my wallet.
this
I
is
need it.
Bendy.
Hey, Bendy.
I need Bendy. I need him.
Benny
Golden
Lego.
Freddy,
Doesn't
there's a
happen.
wooden body.
Literally makes Benny Ink
Here's
scene
the endoskeleton.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Oh, hello there.
It is Bendy.
Yes, and there are two.
Here's a Bonnie.
Okay, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
It's kind of weird.
I like those. I want one.
Oh yes.
Golden Freddy. He was
Take my wallet.
okay, Chica.
Oh, those
I
are.
feel like they just took just the Funko characters and just like cut off the heads and just
So
stuck them
these
on.
aren't.
Uh,
Oh my god! I want that. That is cool. These aren't the McFarlanes.
here's Freddy.
Okay, Freddy.
Hi,
what's
Freddy.
nice? The eyes are creepy though.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
those
creepy.
eyes. Why?
Freddy looks like he has seen
The
something.
head sculpts are
And
Yeah, he's definitely seen.
Foxy the Pirate Fox.
Oh
It
my god,
looks
the head,
nice.
the head sculpts are amazing. Oh, the hook is on the wrong hand. The hook is on the wrong hand.
I think it might. Oh yeah. it
Wait,
is.
does he have a tail? Does he have a tail?
No, he does
There is
not
no
have a
tail.
tail.
No, the tail thief. Riververse.
Untouched
We all
tail.
know that Foxy doesn't have a tail. I just didn't know that much back then when I made that video.
I just need to ask that.
It's a good thing. Oh, my pug is striking at my door. You want to see my pug?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
So he went
Makes
to this
wreck from
comic
makes
Quite a
wreck from
pug.
makes wreck from
where
this
he
wreck from
found some
these.
knockoff bootleg Lego figures. That was hilarious.
What up?
Oh, and I showed them this, and they were
Sophie.
wow.
Aww.
Oh, that's a cute dog.
Oh, you're so cute.
I'm glad it's like a dog like that.
So she's very annoyed at me because I haven't been paying attention to her because I've been on.
Aww.
But I'll be going here in a few minutes, and then I can eat her dinner and take her for a walk.
Aw. Look at her.
So yeah, thank you all for coming out today. This was super
Yes.
fun.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Where
Okay,
is your
this one.
thoughts on dabbing Chica?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your question about Chica?
Thoughts on dabbing Chica?
Dabbing Chica? Would
Oh.
it be like that or something?
Yes,
Chica flossing.
I haven't seen Dabbing Chica, so I don't know. Is this
So
from
the only way
I'm glad that I also.
you have to have the security
Yeet.
logbook.
You have to have the logbook.
Security
Yeah,
book.
police, you're under arrest.
I don't know, but I saw that they have a trailer for the new game where there's an alligator.
Oh yeah. Five
Or-
Phrase security breach. It's gonna be a VR game.
Yeah. I was like,
And it seems like Bonnie and Foxy have been replaced.
right, and it's all like glam rock.
Has been
Like 80s.
You're ready to rock.
Yeah, no, I think
I'm
it's
just getting ready for the game.
crazy how many games he's made in such a short
I'm
amount of
actually
time.
one of his biggest fans. I have a lot of merchandise.
Yeah.
A lot.
But no.
yes.
By the way, Dave.
Yeah.
What's your oldest Lego set?
Ooh.
So it's a good question. Let me pull up my Brick Set. So Brick Set is a website I use to keep track of my Lego collection. So anytime I buy a new set, I just say I own this set there. And I have on there, let's see, where's my profile?
Almost 5.
Okay.
And you got to show them all your cool creations?
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Indicator. I don't know.
So I'm gonna
Give it
share
fire
my
back.
screen here again, so you all can see this.
Hmm.
This is my first Lego set.
Oh.
Oh.
Basic Lego.
It was a basic Lego set from the 80s.
Basic.
And it just had pieces in it, and it had these Moo type characters, I call them. They're these.
Duplo.
They're not quite Duplo. They're a 2x2.
Oh.
and they have
I remember playing with those at my grandma's house.
yeah. So a lot of it was just basic pieces, these big flower pieces, a giant smile piece, and an eye piece. It was a weird set, but that's like the oldest set I remember owning. So yeah, that was that's probably what my first Lego set was. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a cool one.
My first set was a pumpkin, and this is all I have left of it.
My first set was a Mixel.
Oh, wow. Cool. Any other questions? We've got like 2 minutes left, and then I'm gonna go pay attention to my dog.
Okay, so
my first.
I'm actually starting on making my own Five Nights at Freddy's fan game called Five Nights at Jacko's.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
I even have some concepts for your characters.
My first Lego set was my first Lego set was Mixels. Actually, my first one was like this green dog Mixel character.
one of the snot ones.
By the way, Dave.
Yeah.
What is gonna be your next Lego build? Like after you do the dragon, I think.
I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm gonna do.
Wait, do you know the game Lego Worlds?
Yes.
Yes.
I got that game.
From that.
I have that game.
We'll see. I think probably people will want me to build something from Five Nights at Freddy's more than
that.
So,
of course.
I feel like today was all about Nightly News at 9. So I'll probably, for the Brickworld in June, focus on a Five Nights at Freddy's build. So we'll do it the same way, where I'll be here for like 3 hours, and we'll do a poll at the front, and people can choose, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by.
He was telling us.
Bye.
You're amazing.
Bye.
You're amazing.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.